And somehow through that, I like got this one race really, really good. This half Ironman. I came third up in Auckland. And I was like, yes, I can be a professional. That's it. Like, I'm going to finish studying. I won't have that stress. Go to Australia with a couple of my mates. I'm going to train to be a professional. And that was when the worst chronic training of my life happened. We landed at like Kieran McPherson, who's been on the podcast. He's, very successful professional athlete now. Went over, landed at like, I don't know, say 5 p.m. that night. Had to like figure out our way from the airport to the place we'd rented. Next morning, 5 a.m. up, like 6K swim set. And that was just from there, it was all go. Any of the professionals there that were like, do you want to come for a ride? I was like, yep. And I'll try and rip their legs off. Like any run, I was like, yeah, I'm going to do. I just built up. So I was like, here's my first week. This is what the pros do. This is what Javier Gomez does. It was like 30K swim. It was like 500Ks on the bike and 100 plus Ks to running. I was like, yep, sweet. I'll start at like, keep the 30K swimming and like the 10 hours of biking. I'll have that as my standard, and I'll try and progress my running because, progression.
Yeah.
So I started like 100Ks of running. Then I did 120Ks of running. Third week, I did 140Ks running. And you'd think, I don't even know how I did this. And you'd think I'd be like just doing it all easy. I was wrecking myself. I was doing like 5K intervals. I was like doing massive tempo runs off the bike, like race pace, like trying to do 10K in like, I don't know, 35 minutes, like off the bike. And then I did this 10, at the end of that, I had the Gold Coast 10K, which is massive, like really big event. I was like, man, I'm going to run so fast. I've been doing so much training. And it was like the worst run of my life. It was atrocious. It was so much slower than all of my training. I felt like I could barely even finish. And I was like, man, I need a rest. And I have this in my diary. I need a rest, right? So I was doing about 30 hours of training, and we had no car. So I was actually biking to swimming and everything. So it's probably doing another 50 to 100 Ks of commuting. And so I look back on my rest week, and my rest week is like 20 Ks of swimming, about 300 Ks of biking, and about 80 Ks of running.
Oh boy.
And oh man, from there and I started to like eat a lot of sugar, crave sugar a lot just to keep myself up. I was drinking a lot of energy drinks and coffee with a lot of sugar, and I wasn't sleeping very well. I felt really bad about myself. And man, yeah, it took me a very long time to dig myself out of that hole, because I never stopped. I just didn't stop. I just thought I'll just keep doing less, and then I'd still want to race. So then I'd try and pick it up. And it was just this vicious cycle for about 2 years of like this, like training really well and then going, okay, that's the indication that I've recovered. I'll push on. And then it was just like,